Hi, my name is Steph, and I'm a recovering people pleaser. A big part of my spiritual journey and coming back to my truth has been deconditioning myself, deprogramming myself, getting rid of these ideas in my head that don't belong to me, that have been programmed in my subconscious mind and no longer serve me in this new reality that I'm creating for myself. And one of the things that has come up for me recently is just how dangerous it is to be a people pleaser. It breaks my trust in myself, and it's self-betrayal. A lot of my friends see me as this woman that's just does her thing no matter what. And a big part of that is true for me. And they've always been surprised when I told them that I actually have this part of me that is a people pleaser. And there are parts of me where I don't want to upset people. Thing that I've found from running workshops or working with people one-on-one as a tantra teacher, because that's what I do, is that a lot of people have trouble making sound and expressing themselves the way that they feel, expressing their truth in their body in the moment. People just are scared to voice anything. And so sometimes when I tell them to make a sound, they either can't, or they struggle, or it's really, really quiet. Because we're conditioned to be really, really quiet. Don't speak out. Don't talk about yourself too much. Don't put your head out too far. Sit back and just be quiet. Be a good girl. Be a good boy. Don't speak your truth. Don't be difficult. Be quiet. Don't speak. Just follow the norms. Do what everyone else tells you to, and you'll be okay. You'll be safe this way. Okay? So don't do anything that's not according to what society expects you to do, because that'll be trouble for you. It'll be really difficult, and we'll give you hell for it. Even during Christmas, one of the biggest conditioning events of the year, if you're not a good girl or a good boy, you won't get presents.
She has been spotted in the wild, hugging a tree. Love is in the air, everywhere Steph is around. Hello. What happened?
So, a tiger snake just kind of slithered between me and Sorelle and was apparently super close to my foot. Mm-hmm. And tiger snakes are super venomous. You could easily die, especially when you're out in the bush, in the middle of nowhere.
Welcome to Australia. We have solution.
So Sorelle, the MacGyver, decided that I need a tuk-tuk stick, so that I can walk like this. how much this is gonna help?
I'm sorry. Let me just tell you, that's...
I broke.
You broke my stick! Dude, that was the perfect size.
It broke. I guess we did.
No! Okay, so this was my thinking behind it. If you just toop far ahead, then you'll know if something slithers past.
Like this?
That is very much a failure now. We need a new stick, Steph. Definitely need a new stick. Now you look like Babushka Town. Not what we are after.
Oh, I broke again.
Steph!
Oh, sorry, tree. We love you.
Even more Babushka. Oh Lord.
But it was a very beautiful snake.
Mm.
It looked like a big snake.
It was a big snake.
How big?
I'd say it's probably 1.5 meters. Yeah, it was like a full grown, I'd say. I don't know how big they get though.
I don't know either.
But we are in the middle of we still have like, I think we're halfway through our circuit of doing this bushwork walk. Yeah, you're definitely going to see these kind of things in Australia, but it's part of coexisting with nature. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But also, if it wanted to bite me, it would have, because my foot was right there. So, snakes are actually really friendly.
Unless you stood on it.
But I didn't.
Onward!
We love snakes.
We love snakes. Bye, Babushka. Fantastic.
Sorelle.
That is my name.
When is the last time you did people pleasing, and how did that work out for you?
People pleasing. Well, I recently found out via the Enneagram that apparently I'm a peacemaker, and it really made me angry.
Ooh.
Because I realized that there was so much truth in it, and I didn't want to be a peacemaker purely because I had seen evidence of my life of trying to make everyone happy. And I don't know if it obviously affected me in a way. And I gave up a part of myself, but I think I first have to focus on myself and take care of this before I can peacemake with love and compassion, rather than doing it just because you think it's the right thing to do. I do think that my YouTube channel has been a lot of people pleasing. This is why I'm taking a big step in detox from this right now, because I was doing stuff to please brands, to please the viewers, to make sure that to please the algorithm, instead of being like, wait, what do I want to do? Not what is popular or what are people wanting me to do. So that's been huge. And when you get like a big spike of people watching you, you can lose yourself completely if you haven't established yourself right. And I don't think I established myself right, which I think is good that you're doing it now and you know yourself. She knows herself. You. Because you're doing it from the right frame of mind instead of just being like, I need the views. It's like, no, but why do you want to grow? What is the purpose behind that? And you're spreading the right messages from the get-go instead of, I don't know even how I grew. I don't even know how I grew.
Because you're awesome.
Because I'm awesome. Hello, welcome to the episode of Snakes in Australia. Here we have snake poop. Would you look at that? Right here. This was a significantly large python that has ingested a little creature and has now left the fur behind. It's not fresh. It's okay, Steph. I can see her picking up. You're fine.
But I just heard a noise.
There's noises everywhere. Let's go. Let's continue toop-tooping.
Apart from the tup-tup stick, another way to prevent snake bites is to find people to walk in front of you, which is what we did. feel when you do something that doesn't feel right for you, but you do it anyway?
Uy, caramba. I think everyone can probably relate. It feels horrible.
Yeah.
It feels like you're betraying yourself. Feels very heavy on the heart. Feels very gross as well to say certain things that don't feel true. And your body just rejects it. It's like you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to say this. I don't want to go there. Like, it's always like this, I don't want. So I think the feeling, whenever I judge something for myself, I'm like, if I'm feeling like that, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it's all your emotions and body just saying like, hello, that's a no for me.
Yeah.
And so many people push through that, like a 9-to-5 grind or grinding for a hustle business or something, and they just keep pushing and pushing, and fuck.
And what happens if you do that self-betrayal over and over?
You start thinking that's normal.
Ooh.
Yeah, you start thinking it's okay. And you stop realizing that that's a warning sign.
What is a warning sign for?
To make you to change. Like, you wouldn't question something that you absolutely love. Like, if you're in a relationship and you love your partner, you don't go, I mean, there's times, I'm sure. Everybody second guesses at times, but you don't say, ew, like, this sucks. But if you're constantly questioning something, that's obviously an indicator that not something needs to change or be different.
Definitely. And I like what you also did, where you kind of felt into your body and how it would feel in your body. Because so many people try to overthink things and
rationalize.
Rationalize, and we're so stuck in our heads these days that we completely neglect the signs and the warnings that our body gives us. And it's so important to, the mind has its purpose and it does really well for us in a lot of cases, but it's also really important for us to get out of our head, into our bodies, and feel into what is going on in our lives. What is serving us, what isn't serving us, what it feels like to not want to do something, what it feels like to really want to do something, and what it feels like for it to be like I don't know. And when we're kind of in the I don't know stage, it means that we don't have enough information to make a decision. So that means that it's a no until you have more information to make a decision.
Because you always say it's either it's only a fuck yes.
Yes.
There's no such thing as a maybe. And I was always like, but what if you feel like a maybe?
Then you don't have enough information in order for it to be a fuck yes.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
I can, for myself, say that whenever you are sleeping, and I don't mean like actually sleeping, I mean you're unconscious, and you're just doing things without having any pause or a second to think about whether it feels good or not. You're in here the whole time, and you go by rationale, and you can't make a proper intuitive decision if you're constantly running. Like, you need reflection time. And when I was younger, I was always afraid of reflection time. Not afraid, but I wanted to get everything done and experience everything, life, without realizing that I was going down the wrong way instead of staying true to myself. I also think maybe it's societal expectation of us, because it's not normal for humans to be in an office 9 to 5. It really isn't normal for us to be locked behind a desk 9 to 5. And you're already, from such a young school already teaches you to sit behind a desk and just obey and just be like, yes ma'am, can I go to the toilet please? Let's learn this geography. So you're already overriding a system, being like, I don't want to sit here, but you're like, well, I have to. And you're already hurting yourself that way, but because it's been done from such a young age. I mean, education is good, but there's different ways to learn. But being told to sit behind a desk and then go to uni and get a job and have babies and get a mortgage, and I think that is an overarching reprogramming and overriding what innately, like, what we feel, but we don't know how to act on it, because there's not many examples of another way being shown, and if they are, they seem so out of reach. And also sometimes people paint other people's lives as crazy, like hippies. So many people think that hippies are crazy. They have figured it out. So many of them figured it out. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I think it really comes down to in our cultures, Western cultures and societies, we are told that happiness comes from external forces rather than within us. And that's what I've been learning with Tantra, is that it's actually the other way around. We need to switch it around. We need to do self-study, learn about how we work and how we can become happy from within. And then once we are happy from within, that's when your external world you attract more joy, more love, more happiness into your world that way, instead of just constantly chasing your tail, not knowing why, thinking that something externally, that car, that house, that job will make me happy, that husband, that wife, that whoever, those kids, having babies will make me happy. If we're doing all of that kind of stuff and looking for that external happiness, a lot of the time when people reach that,
been there, done that,
they're not that happy.
It's true.
So what about you? Tell us about yours.
I am successful, whatever you define as success. I've got the monetary success, I've got the travels, I've got the lifestyle that I've arranged for myself. I am successful in so many ways. I've got a great relationship with my partner, I've got a great relationship now with my siblings and her doggy mostly. I'm only here for the dog. And I've got a great relationship with myself now. However, at the end of last year, that wasn't the case. I was chasing my own tail. I was just doing 2 videos a week because I said I had to do 2 videos a week, and that YouTube algorithm liked that, and so I was grinding and just putting things out to the point where Leon literally would have to not be around me when it was film day for YouTube. I was so angry. I was angry beyond belief, and everything around this, I don't know, something wasn't set up properly in what I created for myself in this YouTube space and this mini fame space. Something felt so out of whack and my body was screaming, and only until we got the house in Sydney for a few months, until I moved out just recently, that I was able to, it forced me to just slow down, and I went into the most intense internal work for the last 8 months, 9 months, 8 months. And I realized I was not happy at all, and I had been, just working for the algorithm, so I was trapped. I was working for the haters, actually, funny enough. On my videos, I was, whatever they didn't like, I was adjusting my content to suit them, and if they didn't like something or about me, I would try to change it, and it was horrible, instead of concentrating on the people that I actually wanted to speak to and that mattered, and doing YouTube for what I started it for, joy. The most ridiculous videos I could have done, and I forgot all of that. So you can have money, fame, and everything like that as well. I'm not saying that if that's, but you have to do internal work. It's not going to bring you, that is absolutely not going to bring you happiness, 100%. But you can have those things only if you work on yourself as well. You can have all of the things plus joy if you do the work. If you don't, those things alone will never bring you happiness.
I obviously went through a big life transition. For me, Sorelle was you've done some corporate work as well, but you got out of it a lot sooner than I did. I got into it and stayed in it and went down the route of getting married, getting investment properties, and trying to set myself up financially and my partner, and doing all the things by the book. And I was in that, doing what society expects me to do for much longer. And when my life broke and my partner broke up with me 9 months after we got married, that was really hard. It was really hard, and it was a time to reevaluate absolutely everything in my life and about myself, and whether or not I was living the right life, living according to my truth. And a lot of the time it was like, no, I completely got off path to what I was supposed to be doing. And it was hard to correct that path again. For me, it was really fucking hard. And and there were times where I thought I might not want to live anymore and might not want to hang around to figure out what's next, because I thought that it would all be just bad. Because sometimes when you're in that state, you kind of feel like it might never end, that this is who you're going to be from now on. But it did get better. And one of the main things was I just kept following my truth and following my intuition and just doing what felt right according to my intuition, no matter how stupid it might seem to anyone else.
More on how Steph changed her life massively on my channel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You're going into my video topic.
Yeah. Okay.
So on my channel, you'll find a video about how Steph overcame huge changes and how I deal with changes. Steph has some amazing insights which she'll be sharing, and I'm very grateful that she undertook that journey too, because she's awesome.
And just so you know, there is a video on my channel about my changes.
About how you deal with it.
Yeah, but Sorelle's channel is going to be epic.
Just watch it.
Did you fart?
Yeah.
You farted.
I did.
Expect me to sit in your fart?
Yes.
That's disgusting.
Why? Take 2 in a second.
Nope, this is definitely going on camera.